Navigating complexity, the European Union's challenges and aspirations in 2024. The European Union (EU) is a unique political and economic organization of 27 member states, primarily located in Europe. Established to foster economic cooperation and prevent conflict, the EU has grown into a significant global actor with influence in trade, diplomacy, environmental policies, and more. Here's an extensive overview of the EU's current dynamics as of late 2024. 1. Governance and political structure. The EU operates through several core institutions, including the European Commission, proposes legislation and enforces EU laws. The European Parliament represents EU citizens and is directly elected. In June 2024, elections will reflect political shifts within member states, testing the strength of far-right and populist movements. The European Council consists of national leaders, setting the EU's overall political direction. The Council of the EU, composed of ministers from each member state, responsible for enacting legislation. Upcoming elections in several member states, for example, Belgium, Austria, Portugal, will influence national contributions to EU policies. The elections also reflect broader challenges, such as rising political polarization and populism. 2. Economic integration and challenges. The EU's economy is a critical area of focus. Single market. The EU's single market allows free movement of goods, services, people, and capital. Despite its success, issues like regulatory compliance and unequal economic benefits persist. Inflation and recovery. The EU faces ongoing inflation challenges, exacerbated by the energy crisis stemming from reduced reliance on Russian oil and gas. Green transition, investments in renewable energy and emissions reduction are critical to achieving the EU Green Deal goals. 3. Climate action and environmental leadership. The EU is a global leader in climate initiatives. COP28 commitments. Recent pledges include enhanced funding for climate adaptation in developing nations and ambitious renewable energy targets. Green Deal, a comprehensive strategy to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, including carbon pricing and investment in sustainable technologies. Challenges. Financing remains a significant hurdle, as developing countries demand more support for their climate goals. 4. Geopolitical role. The EU is navigating a complex international environment. Ukraine conflict. The EU has been at the forefront of imposing sanctions on Russia, supporting Ukraine militarily and financially, and addressing the associated humanitarian crisis. Relations with global powers. Balancing relations with the US and China is central to EU foreign policy. The EU has taken a critical stance on China's human rights record while maintaining trade ties. 5. Migration and social policy. Migration is a contentious issue within the EU. Asylum reform. Member states are debating mechanisms to share the burden of accommodating refugees. Countries like Italy and Greece advocate for more equitable distribution policies. Social tensions. Immigration has fueled political polarization, with far-right parties gaining traction in several member states. 6. Future prospects. Key priorities for the EU include strengthening unity, ensuring cohesion among member states despite divergent national interests, economic and technological competitiveness, leading in green technology and addressing challenges in digital sovereignty, democratic resilience, countering populist movements and safeguarding democratic principles amid rising polarization. The EU remains a cornerstone of stability and progress in Europe, but its path forward is fraught with challenges that require innovative or cooperative solutions. Would you like details on any specific EU policy or development?